Hello, it's Sarit here with another Etsy video for you. Today's video was inspired by one of our viewers, Marcy. Thank you so much for asking the question of whether you are charged any fees when you're depositing money from your Etsy account to your bank account, if you're from another country other than the US. So that's the question we're answering in this video today. If you are in a country that's not the United States, then do you get charged extra fees when you take that money in your Etsy account and deposit it into your local bank account? And the answer is yes, because your local bank account is going to be in a certain currency. And if that currency is different from the currency that your shop is selling in, then Etsy will charge an extra 2.5% currency conversion fee on top of that. So let me show you an example of what this looks like. So first of all, you want to check what currency your shop is selling in. So when buyers come to your store, they will see your listings in the currency of the country that they're in. However, your store, you are the one who can set a certain currency to the store. So for example, regardless of if you set your currency of your shop to Canadian dollars and someone from the US is on your store, they will still see your prices in their currency, in US dollars, but it'll just be converting it from Canadian to US dollars for them to see it in their currency. And going along with that example, if your shop is set to Canadian dollars currency, and your local bank account is a Canadian dollar bank account, then you won't be charged any extra currency conversion fees because you're taking that Canadian dollar money from your Etsy account and depositing it into your local bank account. So in order to see what currency your store is currently set to, go to your shop manager after logging into your Etsy account, then go to Finances, and then Payment Settings, and you'll see a page like this. Then go to Currency, click on the Currency tab, and then at the top it will say your shop listing currency is, and then your currency. So our store is in Canadian dollars because we're in Canada. This is an advantage to us in two ways. Number one is that we won't get charged the 2.5% currency conversion fee from Etsy because our bank account is in Canadian dollars. If we had a US bank account, that might be different, and we'd actually change the currency to US dollars because most of our buyers are from the US. So that would all make sense. You know, if our buyers are from the US, they purchase in US dollars, and then we can deposit that money into an American bank account. But we don't have that. That's not the case. So number one, we're avoiding that 2.5% fee. And number two is that, like I said, most of our buyers are from the US. So it actually makes our listings a little bit more competitive because Canadian dollar is lower than US dollars. So they will see it a little bit cheaper than our US counterparts. It will be a lower amount to them because we are listing in our shop currency is in Canadian dollars. So just something to think about. I just use this as an example as it applies to us, but there is a 2.5% fee, currency conversion fee, if let's say you've set your shop listing to US dollars, but you are somewhere else. Now, how do you see this currency conversion fee that they're charging you? What is that taken off of? It's taken off of the sale amount. And by the way, this is in addition to the actual currency exchange rate. I'm not sure exactly where Etsy pulls their market exchange rate values from, but if you do want to see exactly what that exchange rate is, what exchange rate they're using to convert your sale amount, then you can actually see this in one of the reports. If you go to your settings and to options, and then go to download data. So when you go to download data, you can actually pull a report that shows you those certain amounts, and you just need to, I'm going to pull a custom report here, a sample report, so you can see what I mean. So what you want to do is you want to select Etsy payment sales, and then just choose any month or year and download that CSV file. I'm going to pull a sample report and I'll show you what I mean. So this is just a sample report that I pulled up, and what I wanted to show you is in this report you can see right here, this column is going to show you the exchange rate that is being used to convert your listing. So if your listing is in US dollars, for example, and this listing, for example, is 51 US dollars, it's going to tell you that Etsy used this exchange rate to convert it from Canadian. And when you do that, when you go 51 times 1.289 you come up with this amount right here, which is the posted gross amount, they call it. Etsy's labels on the top of their reports are super confusing, so that's why I wanted to show this to you. They're not very clear. So this is the converted Canadian dollar amount, $65.78. And then after fees are removed, so these are the posted fees that have to do with the sale transaction. They're putting them in here for some reason. I initially thought these were the currency conversion fees, but it's not, because if you minus 2.5%, so 65.78 minus 2.5%, that should be $1.64, not $2.22. So I believe these fees that they're putting here in the column are actually the transaction or the sale fees, not the currency conversion fees. So just keep that in mind. So so this is the net amount. So after those transaction fees are removed, and if, by the way, you want to see a detailed example of what that looks like, what those transaction fees look like, what Etsy is actually charging you when you make a sale, I've recorded a couple of videos on this channel that have been very helpful for people. So if you're not aware of the fees that Etsy is charging you when you do make a sale, please check those videos out. I'll link to them in the description below. So Etsy says that they will charge you a 2.5% currency conversion fee on top of the sale amount. So before it's brought into your bank account, they're going to put that on the sale amount, which is this amount right here. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to be clearly, unfortunately, it's not in this report, like we can clearly understand it. But what this report is useful for is just to see what exchange rate they used if you want to see that. And again, that 2.5% currency conversion fee is only if your shop has their listings in a currency that's different from the currency of your actual bank account. That 2.5% does not apply if your shop currency and your bank account currency are the same. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, Marcel, thank you so much for asking that question of whether you get charged an extra fee for the currency conversions. I hope this hasn't made things more complicated for you, but if you guys have any questions, let me know, leave them in the comments below. And if this was helpful for you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more good stuff. Again, check out those videos down in the description below that go into detail about what the fees are when you actually make a sale. Those are very important if you are planning on selling on Etsy or if you are already an Etsy seller. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Back from the dead.